CANTO is perhaps one of the most influential non-governmental entities in the Caribbean region. Established in 1985 as the Caribbean Association of National Telecommunication Organizations by 9 founding members, all state-owned telecoms providers from 9 countries in the Caribbean region, CANTO enters its 30th year a very different body from how it was originally conceived, and now boasts of a membership of 134 from 34 countries on 4 continents. The organization's focus continues as ever to be the strengthening of the communications sector in the Caribbean.
The most important aspects of what CANTO does for its membership, and the membership consists of full members as well as affiliate members, being the full members are operators, the affiliate members are really the manufacturer and all other involved in the organization of ICTs. And the most important aspects are that CANTO organizes events, the AGM, the annual general meeting, as well as the CANTO conference and trades exhibition, whereby subjects are discussed that really are beneficial for the whole membership.
While admittedly CANTO is not a household name in the Caribbean, its impact and benefits to the region are felt all the way from the corridors of government to the level of the final consumer, the end user.
Caribbean citizens may not recognize CANTO as impacting their lives directly, but indirectly we do. We have close relationships with the policymakers and the regulators. As CANTO, we want to make sure that the regulations and policies being put in place are conducive to the needs of the Caribbean people. That's how we impact the lives of people. The rules, regulations with regard to the use of telecommunication service should fit their needs.
CANTO's work and legacy includes a range of initiatives that have sought to keep telecommunications development in the region in tandem with global developments. Among these is the Connect the Caribbean initiative, in furtherance of the Millennium Development Goals of the International Telecommunications Union's Connect the World initiative, and is well ahead of the curve in ensuring regional connectivity by 2015. Another CANTO initiative is in the area of information communication technology, where it has partnered with Ericsson to present the annual iCreate competition and promote its policy objective of the development of human capacity in e-content development. Now in its 4th year, the competition has attracted regional interest and participation. The organization also celebrates the annual World Telecommunication and Information Society Day and the annual Girls in ICT Day, both events being global initiatives of the International Telecommunications Union. And true to form, CANTO is set to continue pushing the envelope.
At the next AGM, the 30th annual general meeting of CANTO in January, that will be held in Jamaica, we will sit down and discuss which guidelines we can give to operators, the citizens of the Caribbean, on how to dispose of their handsets. It is already happening in other regions, but we as CANTO have taken the initiative of doing it collectively at our 30th AGM. We also get involved in developmental projects. One such project is the BIPAC project. What does BIPAC stand for? BIPAC stands for Broadband Infrastructure Inventory and Public Awareness for the Caribbean project. That is BIPAC. And the purpose of BIPAC is to examine in the Caribbean how we will accelerate the development of broadband in this region. And why do we want to accelerate the development of broadband? Is to provide greater access and more services to the people of the Caribbean, regardless of where they live and regardless of their social strata. That's the purpose of BIPAC.
CANTO ensures that its membership is constantly updated with developments in the regional telecom sector through a weekly online newsletter and several print publications, including the annual CANTO Directory and Cancion, a quarterly digest. Members also have several opportunities to meet face-to-face during the course of the calendar year, beginning with the annual general meeting. Another key feature of the organization's calendar is the annual Human Resource Forum, which is now in its 8th year. The biggest item on CANTO's calendar is the annual conference and trade exhibition, which is held in a different member country each year. The trade exhibition draws hundreds of exhibitors from the telecoms world, eager to introduce the latest technological solutions to the Caribbean markets. CANTO's growth and changing composition over the years is a reflection of changes at various levels of the Caribbean telecom sector and the organization's adaptability to changing conditions.
That's really a very interesting question with respect to fulfilling the mission and vision of CANTO, since we really focus on a very changing environment. And we've been an organization of only monopolies, and that has been transformed into an organization where not only monopolies are members, but also competitors are members. And besides those, we also have manufacturers inclusive in the organization. So in terms of fulfilling its mission and vision, it's really constantly a changing environment, and most importantly, we as an organization have been able to adapt constantly to the changing environment and really supporting the needs of our membership.
Two of the more obvious changes are in the organization's logo and corporate slogan. Just as significant as the changes themselves are the accompanying changes that CANTO has made to its policy directions.
Since '95, the policy was more geared towards the members, more towards the operators. The operators at that time in '95 were operating in a monopoly environment. So CANTO was more setting policy where operators operated in a monopoly environment. So really the organization didn't grow as much because it wasn't characterized in terms of having significant growth. So there's really no need in that sense to look for new members. But then things started to change in the early 2000s when in the Caribbean our markets, our telecom markets, started to become more competitive, and hence CANTO actually changed its policies, and you started to see by certainly the mid-2000s operators such as Digicel, Columbus Communications come into the market. So CANTO had to adapt and try and attract some of these new operators coming into the market. And actually that happened slowly. You got a few of the Digicel companies joined, and then Columbus Communications, a few other companies. What we saw then was that CANTO changed its policy and tried to, it was difficult because your members were now in competition with each other, but what CANTO did was to find common grounds where we could focus on. So that was the shift in policy there. But also in the late 2000s, CANTO was more focused on trying to attract more stakeholders. We actually have regulators that become members as well. a lot of our suppliers are affiliate members. So CANTO really changed and now is targeting all stakeholders in the telecoms ICT industry. And in fact, last year at the CANTO conference, we had 17 ministers attend. It was, just a massive conference. So it just shows that we are actually adopting to support all stakeholders in the industry. And I think that's been a real policy change over that period.
An organization as dynamic, focused and adaptable as CANTO has shown itself to be definitely has the foresight, the goodwill and the legs to keep going for another 30 years easily.
CANTO's strategic direction over the next 5 years will be endorsed by our members following discussions at our 30th annual general meeting in Jamaica. However, our focus is to continue in expanding our membership base and target even more Latin America partners and associates. We will revamp our existing products and service offerings to be more aligned with the development and all the changes we are experiencing in the ICT industry. Of particular interest, we will continue to dialogue with governments, regulators and the private sector to further strengthen the regional telecommunications industry. Finally, in our quest to develop strategic alliances for sustainable broadband development, we will create further partnerships with other organizations to help us in bringing our members much more diverse and robust technological solutions, those that will assist us in bridging the digital divide in the Caribbean.
Needless to say, for CANTO, success is directly related to its relevance to its membership and the way it continues to fulfill expectations.
We take pride in being an association that is all-inclusive. We have all of the regional players in the Caribbean telecom industry, cable and wireless, Digicel, Flow. We also have members like Telesur in Suriname, BTL in Belize, UTS in St. Martin and Curacao, and we also have Telem. So we really have a wide representation of all the telecommunications stakeholders. As an organization implementing policies on a regional platform, it means that we have to remain transparent. We have to ensure that the dialogue is transparent and take into consideration all aspects and each member's views. Once done right, it could be very rewarding but challenging at times.
There's a lot that can be said for CANTO's 30 years of existence. Credit must be given to the organization's staff and its leadership through the years for its commitment to fulfilling its mission. Perhaps the simplest way to sum up the last 30 years is best left to the longest serving member of CANTO's Secretariat, Gloria Manzano.
We started with 9 members in 9 countries. Today, we are 130 members in 34 countries. We have grown and we are proud of it.
This is CANTO.